Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN, and welcome to the Lakers post-game show on ZSPN on YouTube. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Sacramento Kings tonight. Now, guys, before I get into the Lakers outlasting the Kings tonight, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff, and of course, like always, please be sure to like my page on Facebook, ZSPN, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ZSPN. Much appreciated. So, guys, let's get right into it. I mean, the Los Angeles Lakers, they came to play in the second half. They did struggle a bit when it came to the first and second, but they started to get everything back into place when it came to the third quarter. But the fourth quarter was sensational performance by the Los Angeles Lakers, especially from LeBron James, who out there tonight had 31 points, really led the way for the Lakers to win tonight with the help alongside with the rest of them. I mean, obviously, we have to commend on the great performance of Malik Monk, who had 24 points out there tonight. I have to say, it was such a great performance on their part, and it was a much-needed win. I mean, honestly, when you look at the circumstances of the Lakers' schedule in hand, they need to get some win under their belt because it is going to get much difficult for them going into the the month of January, going into February. So, it's just going to be a bit difficult for the Lakers. So they need to get some easy wins under their belt. And the Kings was one of them. And now the Lakers, I believe they're on a 3-game winning streak when it comes to them getting this win under their belt against the Sacramento Kings. So it was such a great part for the Lakers just a great win for the Los Angeles Lakers in general. So it was supposed to be a must-win for them, and obviously they achieved that tonight. And, when it comes down to it, as I mentioned, LeBron leaned the way in the fourth quarter. This is the video that I had to say was such a great dominant and, the type of appreciation for what we have to say. I mean, I have to say when it comes to this particular video that I saw, I mean, it's just greatness across the board when it comes to LeBron James. It was maybe 50 seconds left at the end of the fourth quarter. So check this video out and give me your thoughts about it.
To shoot. LeBron all the way. LeBron score!
And one. And one. And he has some words for Tristan Thompson. Looked right at him and said, yeah, you've seen this before, and you're going to see it again.
Three-point opportunity for LeBron James.
He likes it, and look at this attack. Go in, throw it up with that left, LeBron. That's power, that's strength. Absorb the contact.
And he's over. Yeah, chan it up.
Guys, it was just at that particular moment, I had to say greatness across the board when it comes to LeBron James. I mean, he is 37 years old in his 19th career. I mean, you just have to admire and appreciate the greatness that he brings to the table. And, it's just a lot of appreciation when it comes to the King. It's just, he's doing it all at the age of his career. And, it's just, I don't see Father Time creeping up on him anytime soon. But, knock on wood, everything will go perfectly for LeBron James moving forward. So 31 points, great job out there for LeBron James. And you guys, I just noticed when it comes to the starting lineup, obviously we've been noticing that Stanley Johnson was not in the lineup because, his 10-day contract was ended, and obviously alongside Darren Collison. But, when it comes down to it, there's some mutual interests from Stanley Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. So it could potentially, happen, when it comes to bringing him back. But, still remains to be seen what type of way that they will bring him back. Will it be on a second 10-day contract, or it could be just, maybe they'll sign him to a non-guarantee. I mean, there's just a lot of scenarios that the Lakers will do to potentially bring back Stanley Johnson. But, they want to make sure that they keep that roster spot open potentially for somebody who will either be available in the buyout market or potentially in the free agency, or not free agency, but maybe like a trade scenario that the Lakers could potentially somehow pull off once February hits. But still remains to be seen about that. And I believe January 16th will be the I guess the Lakers will have the ability to potentially trade THT if somehow they find a deal that will be you know work out for the Lakers when it comes all said and done. And I'll get to THD's performance in a bit, but let's continue on with. I just had to bring that up, guys, so so I can be consistent with you all and bring you all the news and update speculations about the Los Angeles Lakers. So, but a great night for the King out there tonight. As I mentioned with Malik Monk, obviously, since starting for the Los Angeles Lakers, he's been sensational, averaging around 20 points a game since he started for the Los Angeles Lakers. And even in his return, since, he was out due to health and safety protocols. And we needed him. And obviously he stepped up, and he's been stepping up for the Los Angeles Lakers. So 24 points out there tonight. So great job out there for Malik Monk. And then when you look at the rest, obviously, as I mentioned, with Stanley Johnson being out or not being on the roster for now, Frank Vogel went for the new lineup. And obviously they wanted to stick with having LeBron James being at the center. So obviously they want to stick with this lineup. And, they decided to put Trevor Ariza in the starting lineup in place of Stanley Johnson. So obviously, it kind of worked out a bit, but obviously LeBron was the guy who really led the way for the starting lineup. But when you continue on with the starting lineup, I mean, Russell Westbrook, I have to say, he had a great night. In my opinion, he had a great night. 19 points, zero turnovers. I mean, that tells you that he was listening to the critics. He was listening to teammates potentially, or coaches, whatever. He was probably listening to somebody to the point that he did not turn over the ball in this game. I mean, I was very impressed by his performance out there. Consistent and just not having a out of control type of moment in the game. And, he had zero turnovers. I was so surprised by that turn of events for Russell Westbrook. So great job out there for Russell Westbrook out there tonight. I have to say it was such a great performance in his part in this game tonight against the Sacramento Kings. So great job out there for Russell Westbrook. And then, when you look at the rest, Avery Bradley, he was questionable to play tonight, but obviously he did. So he had a okay night on the defensive side. So great job on his part. I have to say, guys, when it comes down to it, he really deserves a lot of credit on the defensive side. We don't really give enough credit for that, but on occasion, he will give us some shooting efforts. We witnessed that in the last game out there. So obviously, when it comes all said and done, he really deserves the credit on that particular front. But defensively, he's sensational in my book. But just continuing on when it comes to the bench, I have to say, the only players that really stood out in my mind was Dwight Howard, in my opinion. Had a double-double out there tonight, had 14 points, 14 rebounds, leading the Lakers in rebounding tonight. And, even though I think I speak for most Laker fans when it comes to this particular predicament, when it comes to the Lakers, sure, it's working when it comes to having LeBron being at the center. Personally, I would rather have Dwight Howard being at the starting lineup, because, he just brings the size, he brings that athleticism and the rebounding side. And, it gives LeBron more of a leeway when it comes to not getting banged up into the rim. And just, when it comes down to it, I would rather have somebody who has experience in that particular department and just, have the ability to just, guard certain players and protecting the rim and just having that ability to just grab those rebounds. So when it comes down to that, I mean, he had a great night off the bench, but personally, I would rather have him being at the starting lineup, but that's just me. So, but Dwight Howard, he had a great night out there tonight. So great job out there. A double double, 14 points, 14 rebounds out there tonight. So great job out there for Dwight Howard. And then, guys, surprisingly tonight, THT, he had a great night on his part, had 19 points out there tonight. I had to say, he really stepped up when it comes to the bench. I mean, surprisingly, it's been like now 3 months now that he hasn't been really stepping up for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm not sure it's because of, having LeBron on the team that just kind of, you know, carrying the load, I guess. I'm not sure. But for some reason, he hasn't been really living up to expectations. But when it comes to this, he had a great night, I have to say. I mean, 19 points, great job on THT's side for really going out there, stepping up off the bench out there tonight. So a great night on his part. And I hope to see more out of that because, it kind of, builds the momentum of maybe the Lakers could potentially keep him around if he just keeps this momentum and this energy off the bench. So, I mean, because, there's rumors that, he'll be on the trade block. But, if he keeps this up, maybe there'll be more teams being interested in him. And maybe the Lakers could potentially get some sort of offer for him that will be a game changer for the Lakers moving forward. So, but, if there's some out there who could potentially say, you know what, let's keep him. I mean, he'll be a great player down the line. But, when it comes to a win now type of team who wants to win championships, obviously you have to go with the alternative, and that is to win championships. So there's a lot of scenarios and some situations when it comes to the Lakers potentially finding some trade package to potentially put THT in. But if he just keeps this up, maybe he'll stick around. You never know. So a great night, solid night for THT out there tonight. 19 points on his part. And then when it comes to the rest of the Lakers, Carmelo Anthony had 8 points, I believe, or maybe it was 6 points. But, the effort really went to Dwight Howard and THT for the second unit out there tonight. And, the Lakers, they really held their own tonight against the Sacramento Kings. There was just that expectations that they were going to win it tonight. But for some reason, I always felt that, some predictions don't really come true, as of late when it comes to the Lakers because, when it comes down to the Lakers do struggle when it comes to beating some easy, winnable type of matchups, as I mentioned with, the Kings and, in past videos when it came to, OKC, and then there was, I believe this was another matchup, but I can't really think of it at the top of my head. But, when it comes to those easy, winnable type of games, I believe the Lakers had the ability to, really achieve that. And they actually did. They had a great night out there tonight. So great job for the Lakers to get a win against the Sacramento Kings. And, it was just one of those moments, as I said. And I'm kind of on the loop right now. But it was a winnable game, and they needed to get it under their belt. So, I really want to know your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. I mean, who do you think really stepped up in your eyes? Was it LeBron James? Was it Malik Monk? Maybe Russell Westbrook with not turning over the ball? And maybe Dwight Howard or somebody out there who would, or maybe THT. I mean, I really want to know your thoughts about it. I mean, I really think it was such a team effort out there tonight that the Lakers won this game tonight. So, and, with LeBron leading the way with 31 points, it was just a sensational, great performance overall for the Los Angeles Lakers. And hopefully they keep this up. I mean, I really, this is the start of 2022, and obviously the Lakers are starting off the new year on a great note, and with a 3-game winning streak, it's just looking very good for the Los Angeles Lakers now, and I really can't wait for them to really let it up when it comes to when it comes to games moving forward, and hopefully winnable ones moving forward. So, guys, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel. Please give me your thoughts about tonight's game, and also please make sure to like all of my social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at ZSPN, and of course, I have a podcast, ZSPN, on Anchor. It is also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I'll leave the link to that in the description of this video so you guys can check out my podcast. It's basically the same content that I give on YouTube, only you can listen to me on the go. So I really do appreciate the love and support you guys give me on my social media sites, and of course on my podcast, and most importantly on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you will know when I upload on this channel. It's right next to the subscribe button. So I really do appreciate you showing me the love and support for that. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.